Welcome back to the channel all about cooking for beginners. And today we're going to go over how to cut some more vegetables. On the screen now are the ones we're going to cover. What we have here is a broccoli crown. I like to cut off the base where all the florets connect and then rip them off. Once we can't do that anymore, we cut off the base again and proceed ripping off the florets again. So to cut the florets in even-sized pieces, I actually like to make a small incision and then rip it. This is because if you were to cut all the way through, you're going to spill a lot of the florets onto the cutting board. So by cutting and ripping, you get a better yield. And this is a broccoli stem. A lot of people just throw it away, but that's kind of wasteful because it's fully editable. All you have to do is make sure that tough outer layer is fully peeled. I do this with a vegetable peeler, or you can do this with a knife, just trimming the outside. Both will work. Just be sure you get all that tough exterior, because the interior actually has more broccoli flavor and is equally as delicious. Here we have an apple. You can peel it or don't. I actually like the texture of apple skin. Either way, we're going to cut off two big planks around the core. Try not to get any of the seeds in the core, unlike me. Once the core is exposed though, we can cut off two smaller planks, making sure to line up our knife to not get any seeds. Cutting apple slices is pretty simple. Regardless of large or small planks, it's the same way. Just line them up and begin making your downward slices. This stuff is good for salads and other raw apple applications. To dice an apple, I'll take the large plank, cut it in half horizontally, line those up, and then start making slices. Afterwards, rotate the whole thing and begin making the dices as large as you want. For the small plank, it's the same thing. You make a horizontal cut, you make a vertical cut, rotate, and then make the dices accordingly. Diced apples are good for cooked apple applications like pies and cakes. For the zucchini, I like to top and tail it, meaning cut off the top and the bottom, and then cut it in half for more manageable sizes. Take each half and then cut it in half lengthwise. For the basic slice, I just like to line it up with a knife and make those slices downward. You can also angle the knife or the zucchini and cut that way to make diagonal slices, which are good for dressings and sauces because of the increased surface area. The next thing we're going to do is de-seed the zucchini because the seeds can be very bitter and hold a lot of water. So quarter your zucchini and then make your knife horizontal with the cutting board and cut across the seed pod, removing it entirely. If you want to cut it into slices now, still pretty easy. All you have to do is line it up with a knife and slice. To make the dice, I like to line up the zucchini quarters and make the dices however large I want them. This is a standard globe eggplant. So to start, I like to rip those leaves up at the top off and then remove the stem. Afterwards, I also like to peel it because the skin is really hard and doesn't break down, kind of leathery. So I peel it, but you don't have to if you don't want to. So I'm going to cut it in half to make the big pieces more manageable, and the first cut we're going to do is a basic slice. You just slice it down. It's very good for stuff like eggplant parm. Next up is the plank cut. So we take the eggplant, stand upright, and just slice it into thick planks. And if you want eggplant slices, you can line up those planks and begin cutting down them to make the slices. Finally, for the eggplant dice, we take those slices, rotate them, line them up, and begin cutting the dice as large or as small as you want. This here is a cherry tomato. Now, a lot of people, when they slice them in half, do it one at a time. However, I find it quicker to grab a bunch, press down with a lid, and then saw through all of them at once. You get the same result, but this is just a faster method. And it works with all sorts of small tomatoes, grape, cherry, anything. For a potato, I like to first remove a thin sliver for stability. Afterwards, we can slice it into rounds, which are good for cottage fries or a potato gratin. To make potato planks, we first make a stable base. We do this by cutting the first plank, then laying the potato on that side, and cutting the remaining planks to the same size as that first one. To make matchsticks or french fries, we then take the planks, stack them up, and cut the fries into our desired size. And finally, to dice a potato, we take those matchsticks, line them up, and cut the potatoes to our desired dice size. I hope you found this recipe useful, and for more videos, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.